So I think traditionally what they were doing was identifying the IT solution as the thing. So what I mean by that is they would identify an opportunity to solve a problem, and then they would go create the solution in IT and then just give it away, or using somehow in terms of giving it to a market actor or giving it, try to create a free service that would be widely available as a way to kind of solve a specific problem. We took a little bit of different tact. We thought that the problem around ICT and ICT services to businesses was more of a complex market problem. In that sense, we figured we needed to get the market for ICT services actively engaged with the market actors, and in most cases we're talking about agri-dealers, in a way that they would want to continually engage and improve the product over time. So you wouldn't necessarily have the donors creating the solution all the time. The market would be creating the solution through kind of competing and innovating and trying to improve their relationship with their customers. So in Kenya specifically, there was some challenges in that a lot of the IT industry that had been emerging either was emerging for large businesses, which was somewhat separate, or when there was IT activity related to the development space or to poor communities or less functioning or poor functioning markets. A lot of that was driven with the old mentality, meaning a donor came in, paid for a person to go make a software or a solution, and then they handed that back to whoever they wanted. It was a community or a business or whatever. So there wasn't an active market of ICT firms essentially selling to businesses in the rural area. So one of the things we found out really quickly was that the firms, the agri-dealer firms themselves, were kind of acting like traders, and they didn't really know much about the consumer, and they didn't really know much about their business, in all honesty. And they didn't really have tools to learn quickly about what's happening in their business. All they were really trying to do was buy something and then resell it for the maximum price. So some of the agri-dealers that we started to work with clearly wanted to change the way they did business. They wanted to be more customer-oriented. In doing that, then they quickly realized that they needed some tools to help them communicate better with their farmers through text messaging, inform their farmers and clients better, capture information about that, track their own inventory, track their own sales. And a lot of that stuff could be really provided by a local IT firm, and then have constant updates. Again, one of the things we saw is that the IT firms in Kenya have the capacity to also provide some really innovative solutions that weren't so driven by having a server in the firm. They could be cloud-based systems and using tablets and things like that. I think there's two reasons primarily. One, that the clients that we were suggesting were pretty far away, so they didn't know them very much. Most of the IT firms were resident in Nairobi. The second thing is that the donor world essentially did create a pretty vibrant market for them to go sell specific applications. And in a lot of cases, the IT firms weren't really organized well as firms themselves. They weren't able to go look for markets. They didn't have products that were fully completed. They were more applications or part of an application that was nifty, but by itself really wasn't very functional or sellable. What we did is we took a little bit of a different tact. What we did is we started to identify almost any IT firm that was willing to go out and talk to agri-dealers. And we set up a whole set of open interactions so that the IT firm could interact with and try and understand and then try and create some solutions for agri-dealers. Essentially pushing the market actors together and doing it in a way that was relatively low risk because the initial component was covered by us in terms of the IT firm. But then over time, they would essentially engage, test things, try to create right solutions. If it didn't work, the agri-dealer would sometimes tell the IT firm to leave because they didn't like them. Sometimes they would ask for another one to come in. So in that case, we were creating quite a lot of interactions between IT firms and agri-dealers as a way to kind of catalyze a market to form. So what we did is we created a mechanism to allow the market to select them to a great extent. In that case, we gave quite a wide range of IT firms, up to 10, I think there are 11, a little bit of money to do some test cases and pilot new products with agri-dealers. Based on their success of selling that ongoing selling to the agri-dealers, we kind of let the market select them out. So if they couldn't keep the agri-dealer happy enough to sell them, then we tended to not work with them again. So in that case, we're almost created a mini market infrastructure to test them out, identify them. Then from that challenge, we could see how they improve them and grow their business. So what we're seeing is that the IT component has helped the businesses quite a bit, and a lot of times it's around communicating with rural farmers that can't easily get in to ask an agri-dealer something like that. But also it's helped them bind the agri-dealer to the farmer, make the agri-dealer more responsive to the needs of the farmer because he gets more information, he understands more, he knows what he needs to do to make the client happy. And by doing that, so you're seeing substantial new investment from these poor farmers in more rural areas because they're more comfortable that they're going to get a better deal. They're going to get the right product for the right price, and they're going to get the return they want from investing in those things. And a lot of that has to do with the IT services have made that much easier for the agri-dealer to accomplish. We were definitely not a technology-based program, but one of the things that I think is important is IT and particularly the way IT is evolving right now, and the importance of IT from M-Pesa and other things. It's a central and an integral part of the way the economy is going to work, and it's particularly useful in Africa in a lot of ways because you have long distances, road problems, and other things. That if you can get it organized in a way, it would be useful to almost any sector. The issue is that it really does need, from my perspective at least, needs to be localized. So it needs to be a local industry delivering solutions to local businesses, business to business, in a way that they'll provide ongoing upgrading, ongoing solution seeking, ongoing development of new products, looking for new ways to enter the market, new ways to make their clients happy. All that means that you're going to get ongoing efficiencies, ongoing improvements in the service, and better relationships to push people who've maybe not tried IT. The local IT firms are going to learn how to engage them better, as opposed to, say, a donor buying a thing and just handing it to somebody.
Well, Mike, thank you for joining us, and we wish you were with us at the SEEP conference. But please send our regards to Nairobi.
Well, thank you, and thanks to everybody there.